What's up, everybody? It's your man's KJ the Great dropping another edition of All Sports Media TV. But first, I want to say I hope and pray everything is great your way. Now, let's get to it. So, massive fight day set for January 28th. Not just one, not two, but three big-time fights. We have first one I want to talk about, and they just did their first face-off on the Teofimo Lopez, Sandor Martin undercard. They did a face-off, and that fight is between Artur Beterbiev, who is 18 wins, no losses, no draws, with 18 wins coming by way of knockout. He'll be going into this showdown with Anthony Yarde, who is 23 wins, 2 losses, and 2 draws. Anthony Yarde's coming off of a big knockout in his last fight. Artur Beterbiev, he's coming off of a big knockout in his last fight over Joe Smith Jr. Artur Beterbiev has the WBC, WBO, IBF Ring Magazine titles. So this will be a defense of his unified titles at 175 for the light heavyweight division. I believe, in my opinion, I believe Artur Beterbiev, he's the better striker, the better brawler in this fight. I believe he's going to win this fight. I believe it'll be 9 to 10 round knockout. Don't get me wrong, Anthony Yarde, he's primed and ready. He's looking good. He has the 2 losses on his resume, but I mean, he's reeled off some really impressive wins as of late. And the winner of this fight looks and hopes to go into all unification for Undisputed with DEMETRI BIVOL. And that is pending if DEMETRI BIVOL can work out something with these so-said rematch clause that he may have with Canelo Alvarez. If you don't know or don't remember, DEMETRI BIVOL, he got a unanimous decision over Canelo Alvarez last year. And it was at 175 and he holds the WBA championship at 175. And they had it was set for it to be a rematch clause that Eddie Hearn, Matchroom, and DAZN, they worked it in there. But instead of going into an immediate rematch, Canelo, he went and he had a fight with trilogy fight with Triple G, Gennady Golovkin. He ended up winning that fight by unanimous decision. And apparently he had surgery on his hand or his elbow for something. And he's looking to come back, take a fight, and then possibly fight is what's being said right now. Try to fight DEMETRI BIVOL in September, around the September 5th Mexican holiday, I believe it is. But let's hope that don't even work out, because we want to see Undisputed. We're in the 4-belt era. Being undisputed, that is the time, and the time is now. DEMETRI BIVOL has stated that he wants to be undisputed at 175 before he does anything else. So look for him and the winner of Artur Beterbiev, Anthony Yarde, to go into a potential undisputed showdown. Now, the second fight I want to talk about is between undisputed WBA, WBC, IBF, WBO Ring Magazine champion Jermell Charlo, who is 35 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, with 19 wins coming by way of knockout. He'll be defending his undisputed championship against Tszyu, who is 21 wins, no losses, no draws, with 15 wins coming by way of knockout. Jermell Charlo, I believe he can win this fight. I believe he'll win this fight and eventually move up to 160. Or I believe if he does win this fight, there are 2 potential big-time fights that could come after this fight. One being that him and his stablemate has said that, and his stablemate Errol the Truth Spence Jr., who is 28 wins, no losses, no draws, with 22 wins coming by way of knockout. They said that Errol Spence, he's ready to move up after maybe another fight or 2 at 147. And if they have to go into a fight, and if it makes sense, they'll do it. The other person in that mix is Terrence Bud Crawford, who is now 39 wins, no losses, no draws, with 30 wins coming by way of knockout. He just came off of a knockout victory, a 6-round knockout victory against David Avanesian, with David Avanesian. And him and Bud Crawford and Jermell Charlo have been going back and forth on the internet from time to time. Crawford believes he can beat anybody in the range of 130, 135 up to 154 to 160. Jermell Charlo has stated that if Bud ever comes up to 154, he's going to knock him out. So that's a potential matchup there. Not to take anything away from Tszyu. I just believe Jermell Charlo, he's finally figured himself out and figured out what he needs to do to win these fights and win these fights convincingly. If you look at his first fight with Tony Harrison, he ended up losing a close fight, but it was like, I thought that fight could have been a draw. He just needed to let his hands go more. It wasn't that he couldn't find his spots or anything. He just was not letting his hands go. The second fight, you look at it, it was a close fight, nip and tuck, but then he found his rhythm, and then he got the stoppage in round 11, but that was because he started to let his hands go over those last couple rounds. You look at his first fight with Brian Castano. Brian Castano, he was pushing him around, pushing the pace the first 6 rounds of that fight. The second half, you see Jermell Charlo pick up the pace and find his spots. He found his rhythm, and he was doing all the necessary things, but it was already halfway gone. So that fight, they labeled it a draw. Second fight, Jermell Charlo came out 1 or 2 rounds. Let's let it slide for about 1 or 2 rounds, and then he found his rhythm and pushed the pace, and he let his hands go, creating shots, taking good angles, and he ended up getting a knockout victory. He can do that whenever he decides he wants to be the aggressor and push the pace. So look for Jermell Charlo to get a win, get a convincing knockout win. I'm going to say he gets an 11th round KO of Tszyu, if not by the 5th round. So between 5 to 11 rounds, that's my prediction for that fight. The third fight we're going to talk about is between none other than Mexican superstar boxer King Ryan Garcia, who is 23 wins, no losses, no draws, with 19 wins coming by way of knockout. He'll be going into a fight with Mercito Gesta. I hope I said that right. Bear with me, people. Mercito Gesta, who is 33 wins, 3 losses, no draws. 3 losses, 3 draws, with 17 wins coming by way of knockout. They'll be going into a fight on January 28th as well. This fight is set for King Rod to get some activity going, because he does have a fight planned with 3-division world champion Gervonta Tank Davis, who is 27 wins, no losses, no draws, with 25 wins coming by way of knockout. They agreed to fight and at a catch weight of 136, and that fight is slated as of now to probably take place April 15th. I did do a video on the Gervonta Tank Davis undercard and total fight card set for January 7th. The link to that video will be down in the description box. Check that out if you get time. But back on this fight, I believe Ryan Garcia will win this fight. He has, fast hands. He has better footwork than he's given credit for. He has a good ring IQ. The hooks that he throws, the body hooks, beautiful, 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 beautiful. You look at what he did to Luke Campbell, floored him with a body hook. Look at what he did in his last couple fights, man. He knocked those guys out with some quick hands. So, excuse me, let me slow down. But Mercito Gesta, he's coming off of a win against Joel Diaz Jr. Prior to that, he was on a 29-month layoff. So he's looking, to keep his activity going. He's a good boxer. He had a good outing against Joel Diaz. It was better than what I thought it would be, considering the layoff that he had. A lot of times when fighters have that extended layoff period, you get a lot of ring rust and everything. If you don't believe me, watch the Terrence Crawford fight. If you don't believe me even then, go back and watch Keith Thurman versus Mario Barrios. You'll see what ring rust is, and you'll just have to understand, seeing it, you should be able to understand it. But all things aside, I believe King Rod gets the knockout in this, maybe 7 or 8 round knockout. And all things will be pointed towards April 15th with Gervonta Tank Davis. So, but that's all I got for you guys. Make sure you hit the like button, drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. Be sure to follow me on my Instagram at All Sports Media TV. Follow me on my other Instagram at KJ the Great 09. Make sure you like and share these videos. If you're traveling, stay safe, travel safe, be aware of scammers out there. Happy holidays, people, whether you celebrate it or not. Love you guys. I appreciate all the follows. That's all I got for you guys. Peace.